So, if you go back and check your notes that you have been taking during all of these episodes, you'll know that several episodes ago, probably like 10 at this point, I talked about this area with Nearsighted, how the logic grids that came here would reload every time you started the game again. So it's not quite static puzzles because they aren't the same every time, but they're not quite hub puzzles. They aren't randomized here. They're a preset amount of Myopia Arrow puzzles that always reload in this area. There are two other areas with similar things. So there's the Myopia Arrows. There's another one, I think it's right around here with Congruency rules, I believe, has some of those that reload every time you play, but it's a separate set of logic grids. And then there are some logic grids up here that are just regular ones. There's actually two sets that reload in here. So I'd like to solve some of those today. That might be this entire episode, depends on how long it takes to do that. But I'd like to handle those not quite static, not quite hub puzzle things, and then whatever else I find along the way, like this guy here. So Shy Aura that wants me to sneak toward him. Closer. Can I get closer without falling? Because if I fall, he will vanish. Yep. That's annoying. Let's try again. Okay. There's got to be a way down that doesn't... No? Like, I want to be on there. Can I go around that way? That seems not... That seems like a no-go. No, we can. Okay, so we're down here. Can we cross? Ah! That counts as a jump. Alrighty. But I was a little closer. I should have just tried it. I should have just gone for it. So we go around this way. Here. Maybe this is the path. Oh, now I'm really far under him. Sorry, I assumed his gender. Maybe it's a she. That was okay. Alright. Annoying. Okay. Let's solve this thing in my face. And then get some height. We could solve this one too. This is the movement guy. There's gotta be a quicker way up than what I'm doing. I'm always looking for those good old rifts. Good old launchers. There's one. The Myopia Arrows are all the way up there. I kind of wish that the teleport area was higher, the Great Pearl, so you didn't have to do this every time you came here. Don't make that. So how am I going to do this? So I basically want something like this, but I want one of these. None of those are going to work. Unless I utilize that. I can utilize that trick. That's how it's going to be. How many of these? 7 flow orbs just running up. Let's do this one. This is just running up. It's not part of that one. That's interesting. This can't possibly be a good time, but it is. Okay, that's enough. Continuing up the area here. We'll eventually get to those Myopia Arrows. that just looking across this bridge, maybe? Maybe it's looking from this side? No, I've got to look. I just gotta have to see grass. Yeah, it's from this side. Nice. Nice. Sky drop right here. Get closer. Alright, fine, I will. Let's take care of blue. Let's take care of green. Let's take care of... that's not gonna happen. So let's take care of this. That. Alright, that was fine. So I'm looking at this building here, but I gotta look through this branch, maybe? No? Also gotta see a bit of the, of that. I just gotta find a tree, so I think I am under this tree. Like, no? Maybe I'm under it from on this side. Yeah. Cool. Sure, let's solve puzzles as we go. That was trivial. This is it right here. There we go. We're almost there. We've made our way up to the top. What can I move? I can move this. And then that. Okay. No dominoes. Connect all light cells. Okay, that's the other trick. That would overload by far. That's done. Connect all light cells. Gonna force this. This is finished. That is finished. This has to be like so. And we're good. Not too bad at all. Getting closer. Myopia is on the way. I know that's what everyone clicked on this video for. All 10 million of you. Connect dark cells and light cells. That's gonna overload. So we're gonna have an issue there. This is now complete. Can't have checkerboards or we would have a problem with the other stuff. That has to be like this. I keep forgetting it's viewpoints, not areas. So that means this is done. Those are all dark. These are all dark. This has to be one of them, which is gonna solve this. No checkerboards. That has to come out. No. That's it. This is a big one. What's going on over here? Where would I stand for this? Also, there's a cube back here. There. Oh, it's probably up here somewhere. Yeah. Alright, here we go. We're at this area. This is different though. This is just connect all light cells. Okay. I wonder... No, if I went this way, this would be it. I wouldn't be able to do anything else. This way is possible. Alright, time for some more congruence, not congruency rules, myopia arrows. Congruency rules are after this. That has to be there, that has to be like that. 2. This could still be fine. These have to be like that. Oh, we don't want no dominoes and no squares. Connect all light cells. So no squares. That has to be like that. Connect all light cells. No squares. What's next? One of these two. This would be fine, I think. Yeah, that'd be fine. 3 Pipper, those. No checkerboards, no 2 dark areas have same, but they all have region 4. So, no checkerboards. Where do we have a checkerboard pattern happening? So this is your L. No checkerboards. This has to be the I piece. No checkerboards. This can't be the L piece, so we can't have one there. Which means this is your T piece. Cool. Save the star puzzle for last. Ooh. Connect all dark cells. Okay. This has to go, so this has to go out at least a bit more. This has to be here. Okay. This is fine. At least one of these two. Ah. This won't work because it's connected there. I see. So those have to be light cells as well. Okay. That means this has to be a light cell. These are dark cells. Those connect. Yeah. That was a weird one. It was fine, but it was weird. Those have to be like that, which means that's here. This just connect all dark cells. That means these are light. This could be... No, it has to be a light cell because of this. So that's like so. Oh, that's what that is. That has to be light cell. That's going to be light cell. That's a light cell. We want to connect all dark cells, so these are dark cells, because something has to be dark in here. That's got to be... And that has to be a dark cell, otherwise we won't have it be the closest. Those are light. That's a light cell. That has to be dark cell, which means that has to be a light cell. So there's that. Those have to be dark cells. This could go through here, or it could be there, I'm not sure. Oh, no squares, no dark squares. This is forced now, no dark squares. And we're good. That's a pretty nice one. Okay, connect all light cells, exactly 1 symbol per dark area. Okay, that's set. That's set. That is set as well. That has to be like so. And that means this is done. This goes to over. That has to be a dark cell. There's no way. Oh no, it could be this or it could be that. Let's see. That's got to be a dark light cell. This now. This could be a dark cell. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is there a way that these two are light cells? Yes. Is there a way both of these are light cells? Yes. Now I could do... No, I can't do that, right? This is over here, so this does have to be a dark cell, which means that has to be a dark cell. So that's a light cell. That's a light cell now for sure. The furthest away this can be is there. Which it can't. If we did this, we'd have the issue of these would be... No, hold on. This is closer. This is closer. Never mind. I thought it was the same distance away. Furthest away this can be... This is the same distance here. I can't do that. Oh, right, I can't do that. So we do have to do this. Either here. Well, it can't be here, so it does have to be this piece. So this can't be a dark cell. This also this can't be a dark cell. So that has to be a dark cell. Could be this or there. Not totally sure yet. That has to be dark cell. That's going to connect to here. Okay, those are going to be so. Okay. I think I made that one harder than it needed to be. Connect dark cells and this. So we're definitely going to have this. We have to have these. So this is going to point... Like, I can do it this way just fine. No. I have to make sure it sees that. Well, this is either one of these, or it's like... It's got to be a line, because if I have this going on... I can make a square. Make a square. But then I would have to make a square here. And that's no good, because I don't want a square. If I make a square, what ends up happening is that the myopia arrow is not satisfied. So I can do it this way. I can't do it going up, because then I would have this issue. So it is, in fact, this. Now, this 5, if it's... How am I going to connect? Because I can go up through anything. If I do this, it's a dead end. I would be stuck with this. So that's not where that's going to go. Yes, think of this, what this would be. Whatever color this is, the opposite color has to be here, probably. No, we could do it this way. This is possible. No, it is not. Oop, get rid of all that. I don't think this can be a light one, because if this is light, then we have to have this. We can always do it this way. No, this is totally doable. Now, can I do this? Yes, I can do this. That's actually it. Okay, that's a pretty cool puzzle. Connect dark cells, and we got to make a snake or a loop. So that's that. That's this. It's got to go one further. This has to be here. That is forced. This can't go that way. Hold on a second. This is required. I see. So what ends up having to happen, I can't go into here without closing the loop, so this has to be a light cell. The loop has to end somewhere in here, because at least one of these two is going to be it. Something down here is not going to be this one. One of these, this set here is going to be like so. It's got to come down through here for sure. It could come around this way and up, or it could come around this way and up. But this means... Oh, it could come in this way. No, see, if it comes in this way... I can do this. But then how do I... I can do it like this. But then how do I get a piece here? So I don't think that's right at all. I think we're talking this. No, that's not right either, because how am I going to get the piece here? Where am I going to get this one from? Again, if I do this, though... we're in trouble here. Yeah, it's trouble. So I think this is it. This is totally fine, because I can do it this way around. That's it. That's a good one. That tricked me a couple times. Okay. That takes care of these puzzles. Let's head down to another section of puzzles. 1 second. Where'd he go? I missed a ring, but that's okay. Look at this one. Now, let's head over to this section, which is going to be this way. And we'll take care of the puzzles that are reloaded in this area. Yeah, heading the right way. Yes, this is the set, although that one apparently is already solved. All numbers are off by 1. Great. Don't make this pattern so we know that one's there. This has to be at least 3. This has to be... No 2 dark areas have the same shape and size. So this has to be at least 5. This has to be at least 3. So one of these is a 5. And it can't be this one. So that's the 3, that's the 5, that's the 1, and this is the 7. All dark areas have the same shape and size. Oh dear. So we know this. We also know that. We know this. Huh. We know that. Gotta make it symmetrical. If I do this, where am I going to make a T-shape in here? Whereas if I do this... Oh, I can make it a square. There we go. That's a neat one. Huh. All dark areas have the same shape and size. They all have region 4. Same shape. So what if they're T-shapes? This is possible. But then how do I make that? L shape? No, L shape doesn't work. L shape like this works. Then L shape like this works. No, hold on. Get rid of those. L shape like... This is the only way... They all have to be the same shape. They're not an O shape. I shape doesn't work because these won't see it. This can't be T-shaped that way. It can be T-shaped this way, but then that does that. Because then this can be T-shaped like so. How would I make a T-shape here? Won't be like this. This is the only way to do the T-shape, but now I can't make it here. Z-shape? No, Z-shape will never be seen by 4. Like this is great. Oh, hold on. Am I stupid? There's this right here. This is the L shape. So it is the L shape. So how do I see the L shape here? It's going to be like this. And then I need an L like this. No, I need L's like this. Wow. So it would help if I actually looked at the puzzle before solving it. Same shape and size, and then just area regions. That's got to be a light. Oh, sorry, that's going to be a dark cell. This can't be a light cell, it's a dark cell. So we know this has to extend, so we can at least have elbows. So they could all be L pieces. Yep. This is the only thing I can do. Dark areas have same shape and size. They're all Zs. Z pieces. So this is required. That's got to be there. Yeah. So I think it's got the 7 there. That is for sure. That has to go out at least that far. Cool. That one's kind of cute. Exactly one symbol per dark area. No two dark areas have the same shape and size. So this is your T. This is Z. This is I. This is O. Nice. No two dark areas have same shape and size, but they all have 4, so we have tetrominoes again. That's T. Some of these are going to connect to each other. So this could be like that. Okay, what do we got left? We got this piece here. We're not off by 1, thank goodness. No squares, connect all dark cells. 1 silver light area. No 2 light areas have the same shape and size. That's a lot of rules. So let's see. That has to be a dark cell. These has to be dark cells. That has to at least be white. This. That has to be white. That has to be white, I think. Yep. That means this is white. One of these two. But I don't know which one yet. Anything else I can get? 1 symbol per light area. I don't know why that's... I guess it's so we don't connect the 6s here, which means this 6 has to be there. And it has to be here, so it has to be these 4. It has to be like that. So one of these 2 spaces. That's going to come out. Could be this or that. We're not sure yet. So what is this all on about? Maybe so they don't make the 4s and the 3s the same thing? This has to come out that way, actually. So we do have the 6 being spread like so. No squares for dark cells. So this probably connects to the 4, but it could be connected to the 5. Somebody's got to get up all in here, too. So that's a dark cell for sure. So it could be this or that. We're not entirely sure yet. Ah, they can't be the same shape or size. So this is the 6. This has to escape, which does force this. That can't be there. That also can't be there. No squares means this can't be that shape. This is in fact the 4. That makes this work without squares. No squares, please. That's come out this direction. No. This is fine. Interesting puzzle. Okay. Dark areas have same shape and size. So the question is, if I were to do this, we would have to block it off like so, one of these two has to be dark. We would be in trouble immediately. So that is a light cell. So the dark shapes here. This can't be a dark cell because then we would have this. So that's light. Means that is dark. Okay. This would require an elbow joint, so I think it's just 2. I think every time we have a dark cell, it's just 2, which means that's the dark cell. This could be light, we're not sure. I don't know if this is correct. Yeah, this can't be right. Okay, I've done something wrong. What am I doing wrong? This can't be dark. It just can't be. Because then I would have to make one of these two dark. That's just how it has to be. Can this ever be dark? No, because then we have to do that. Oh, this just might not be a light cell. No, if this is like this... we might have this. How would we do it? We'd have to do it like this. Okay, hold on. This would be like so. This has to be light, though. Okay, thought I had something. Because this is the shape, but this is the wrong spot. This is the shape, but then... That doesn't work. But it might work if I do it like this. But then... No, because this can't connect to that. That also can't connect here. Okay. Let's try again. I'm doing something wrong. Let's do the stupid move again. This would require a square. And right away, we can't have this. We'd have to have a dark cell here. But we'd have to have light there. We can't do it. So that is correct. This is correct. This could be light. Which would force that to be dark. Which would force this move here. That is also light. What if it's just doubles? No. Something else is going on. This can't be the case because we would block it in. And if we did an elbow like this, we would have to do this move. Yeah, this is it. This is the only thing I can do. Right? I'm just so confused as to how this will work out. Because we can do it like this. Yeah, this is the only thing I can do there. Because this can't be this. It has to be like that. This would have to be like this. See, if it was the other way around, we'd be fine. We would just be totally, totally fine. No, we wouldn't. I'm sure that I am overlooking something really, really obvious. That might be it. That might be what I'm overlooking. And this has to be dark cell, which means it is this. This is a really tricky one. I'm kind of loving it, actually. This could be light cell, but I'm not sure. If this was a light cell, we'd have this, but we'd also have this, which would leave us room here. Wow, that is wild. That's a wild puzzle. In a good way. I think that's everything here, because those are part of that test. So last but not least, we're going to take care of another set up here by the library, the Shattered Library. I have just completely forgotten about these puzzles over here. Like, we went to the Shattered Library super early in our adventure. I'm sure we all remember. We were babies then. This is a set of, like, just difficult puzzles. Difficult regular logic grid puzzles that we do. So we don't want squares. We want to connect dark cells exactly one symbol per light area. Okay, it's a start. What do we do from here? We need to connect dark cells, but I don't know what that means. One symbol per light area does mean we have to fill in these gaps. We don't want squares, so we have to fill in these gaps. This is the only thing that'll reach us the 3. Fill in that gap. That is where this 3 goes. Fill that in, it goes to the 5. This can be the 3 or the 9. In fact, where's the 9 gonna go? That's the question. The 9 can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 8, 9. This is the only spot way the 9 can be done. So this locks in quite a few of our options. We don't know about that yet. We could do this. That has to be locked into the 5 somewhere. That's got to go to something. That's got to go. It's not going to be the 2. It's going to be the 5. Got any other square potential somewhere? This could still be a light cell. In fact, I think it has to be so the 7 can be fulfilled. That's got to come out. This 3 has to come down here. That 3 has to come there. On this 5 has to hit, oops, both of these. It can't not hit both of these. So the 4 is not going to go there. What else can we get? 5 can come out there. This 3 can't come down that far. So it can only come down that far. So it'll be here, there, there, don't know. Because the 5 will hit this spot, but it might be one of those 2. Which means this 5 can't go all the way here. We could just do this, though. This would require these. I don't know. Let's try down here again. If we had a dark cell here, we'd bring this up. Well, it's one of these 2, which means that's also a dark cell. So it does have to... Oh, right, we have a square here. So we got to block those in. This is the only way this escapes. And the question is, where does it come through? One of these 2 is light cell. Well, if this is a light cell, then that is a light cell. And so that has to be a light cell. Because it could come around that way, or it could come around this way. we also can do that just fine. We can do this just fine. Well, if I do this, however, I'm stuck. So that can't be there. So this just have to be a dark cell. So one of these two is, it's that one. So, okay, that does lock in our 5s, and the 3, and that 5. Okay. That has to be the 4. I think we're done. Amazing. That's pretty fun. Let's take care of this one. No squares of any kind connect all dark and light cells. Okay. This would force light, this would force light. So that's a light cell no matter what, and because of no squares, this is that. No checkerboards, no checkerboards. So this has to be done this way. One of these two is dark. Does it tell me anything else? One of these two is dark. If this is dark, we're screwed. So that has to be a light cell. No squares. Light cells have to come through here. I just want to find a light cell on the edge, because these can both be dark, they can both be light. Well, one of these two is light. And we'd be in trouble here. This is how it goes. One of these two is light, so this is where the light cells are. We have to go around this way. And around this way. Cool. That's a neat puzzle. Same deal. Connect all of every kind. That's got to be a dark cell. And that's got to be a dark cell. So... where do we go from here? If this is a light cell, this is a light cell. This is a dark cell. We don't know. Looking for square. Okay, if this is the case, we would have to do that, which is fine. If that's the case, we'd have to do this. Ah, we're in trouble. So that's a light cell. Those are dark cells. And we're done like this. So at least one dark cell in here. This has to be that. If this is a light cell. This is a light cell, this has to be a dark cell. Then what do we do here? That's a light cell. That's a dark cell. Which means these have to be light cells as well. But not necessarily that one. Ah, there we go. Dark all around. We're done. Kind of fun. Let's try over here. Oh, come on. Okay. This is huge. One symbol per dark area connect light cells. So we can't do this. So we do have to do this, which makes that one symbol per dark area means this has to come out. That has to be at least one out. This has to be at least one out. Ooh, this is quite far away now, so we have to do that. And this has to connect to the 3. This has to connect to the 5. One of these two actually has to be these. 3 is complete. That's complete. The 4 is complete. That is complete. That connects to the 5. That's part of the 4. So there you go here. These have to go like this. And then that is what? That has to be... Let's see. That's got to be like that. That means these are dark cells. That connects to the 4 here. This has to connect to the 5. These are both going to connect to 4, I think. This could be 5. That could be 4. Still not sure. There's got to be something in here. And it's going to connect to this 5. So it's either going to be here or there. So we can have this shape. We can have this shape. Not 100% sure. That means this could be a dark cell, but this cannot be a dark cell. Because we could have... Ah, no, this has to connect to this 5. We could connect it over here. let's see with this one. Anything else? Color on left all light cells. Oh, connect all light cells means this has to escape, and so does that. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. This has to escape down here. Any other escapes? This is fine. In fact, it is going to block it off. Well, this isn't going to be here, because then we wouldn't be able to connect. If this is a dark cell, we're really stuck here, and we'd have to do this, and this 5 is going to overload. So those are white cells for sure. Which means this is how this goes. This cannot be part of the 3, so it must be part of the 4. It makes that part of the 5. Makes that the 3, which makes the 5 this one. Nice. Puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. All numbers off by 1. These still can't connect. These still can't connect. But the 12 can connect to the 10 just fine. This is 8. I want 11. I want 4 here, I guess. I want 5. I gotta figure out a way to make this work. Okay, let's figure this out. I was just trying to make guesses work, but it seems like the 12 and the 10 have to connect. Unless the 8 and the 10 connect? But how would they do that without overloading the 8? They'd make 9 somewhere, but then this has to make 11. Like, there's just no... The most economical thing is to bring this out. This can come down this way. How do I get another piece here? There, that's it. That was tricky. I like that one. There's more up here, by the way. There's several more. Let's do the lower pip ones first, shall we? All dark regions have area 3. Ah, so I have to have one of these two. So it's here, here, or here. Ah, it can't be that. So this is possible. This is not possible. So it cannot be this, because we'll overload there. So it is this, and then we just need to know what direction it goes from there. Actually, hold on. All of those. This is possible. Can't be that. It could be this. Actually, if this does go up, we're stuck. So the only way to do it is this. That has to connect there. Meaning that one of these two, we're not sure which yet. We can do this, we can do that. Well, if we want to put this down here, like so, then we would need only one here. So we can't have this be a dark cell. We also can't have this be a dark cell. So this is forced now. We could do this just fine. We cannot do this piece. So yeah, that is now forced. Ah, right, because we have this piece here. This is now done. This is complete. So this is complete. This is complete. Ah! Wrong button all over the place. 2. I think this just solves the puzzle, right? Yeah, that one's cool. Let's save you for the very end, shall we? Oh. Okay, don't make the snake pattern exactly one symbol per dark area, exactly one symbol per light area. what if all of these are dark? So the question is whether this is a dark one or the other ones are. Well, the trouble is we'd have to have one of these two being dark, and it will never connect with this. Ah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't have to make all connect. One symbol for dark, one symbol for light. We just don't want to make a snake, a branching path. We can do all sorts of stuff. We could have... Ah, I see. Hold on. The only way to make this 4 is like that. So this will be a light. Because if this were dark, we would be in trouble. It's light. Okay, so 37 can not go around this way. It's gonna come through here, right? Because if it goes here, we have a problem. Oh no, the white one can snake all we want. Is there a world there? This has to be a dark cell for sure. That means these do have to be light cells. Because we can't have snake, or we have to have snakes. We can't have the non-snake ones. Okay. Is there a world where that's a white cell? It would have to be a very particular way of doing it. I'm not sure. That definitely is a dark cell. Oh, right. One symbol per light area does mean that... Oh, I should have just known that if one symbol per dark, one symbol per light means if this is light, it's got to reach, like, so many places. Okay, that means that is a dark cell. That's got to be a light symbol. This has got to be light because the dark symbol is going to go one of those two directions. In fact, it can go only that far, so it does have to come down here. This is possible, though. But this is not, so, yeah. I think this is it. That's a weird, fun little puzzle. Oh, it's 2-star. Oh, come on. Okay. Exactly one symbol per dark area. So, one symbol per light area as well. Alright. One symbol per dark area. Yeah, these have to connect, so this does have to be like so. That's gotta escape. This is not possible. That is. Let's see. These can't both be the same, so this is possible, or that is possible. Let's start here. Okay. One symbol per light area is going to force this. Okay, this has to connect to something. Can't do it that way. One symbol for dark area does mean this is what we're doing here. So far this isn't terribly difficult, but it is like a lot of steps. This can be darks. In fact, it has to be because all of them have something going on. This, I think, is as far as this will go. Ha! That. This can't be that. It's very, like, beautiful when it all works out, but it is... it just looks like a lot to do. think this is that. This probably is going to reach that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Yeah, it's... this can't be the same thing, so that is taken care of. Oops. This is also taken care of. It's actually quite amazing how this all just works out. That's gonna be those. Wow, I wouldn't say any of that puzzle was like on its own difficult. It just was daunting, and you had to kind of do it all in stages. Here's some easier ones. Tiles remaining 10. Only mark what is guaranteed to be true. Okay, so if this was a light cell, these would all be dark cells. That'd be fine. If this is a dark cell, we somehow have to have 3 light cells and 3 dark cells here, and 2 dark cells. I would need 3 light cells and 2 dark cells. I don't have enough space. So that has to be like so. And this is the same deal. I need that to be like this. Now the question is, I think these have to be the same. Yeah, and then at this point they can be different. Oh no, okay, Underclued. And connect all light cells. And exactly 1 symbol per dark area. Exactly 1 symbol per light area. So, if this is a dark cell, we have to connect all light cells and 1 symbol per dark area. This is a dark, and how on earth would we connect those? So this is light. No, this has to be dark. This has to be dark, because we can't possibly connect these. So this is also dark. So I have to somehow block... the A and the B. How would I do that? Right? This, because I can't do this. 1 symbol for light area. That's forced. This will never reach. Right? Connect all light cells. So that means all... I can't have a... Yeah. This is guaranteed. Tiles remaining 65. Are you kidding me? Is there a way I can block it? Because this overdoes it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to overload as soon as I do this kind of thing. I see. I'm going to do this. Oops. I'm going to do that. That's what it is. I'm not blocking the A, I'm blocking the B, but I just don't know which corner is it. Wild puzzle. Alright. 2 and 3. Underclued again. No dominoes. Okay. Connect all light cells. So I can't do this. So what it's going to be is something like... Well, this is a possibility, but then I would do... No. I can't do those 3. So I think these have to be... If I did this, I couldn't have... No, I could have a piece here because the light cells could escape this way. I think these are guaranteed. Which means this is guaranteed. Right? If I do this... This would have to be like so, which would force... So those, they can't be on the edges, which means this is a possible way of doing it. No. So it is these 3. This can, because it can escape this direction, so I guess this is what we're looking at. Okay. Another underclued grid, connect all dark cells. There's gonna be a dark cell here, so these connect. This can go up there. I don't know which one. This has to have at least a dark cell here. Actually, it has to come in. These have to be dark cells as well. These have to be dark cells as well. No, there could be another set of white cells. So this can block. If this blocks it, though, we're in trouble. So that can't block it. That's fine. This has to be here. This has to be a dark cell. We can do this just fine. There can be white cells there as well. So then the question is, there are 16 tiles remaining. Are you kidding me? So this has to be a light cell here. In fact, I can avoid. This one does not. I can fill in 16 more. Well, I can't do this. So, is there any way to avoid this piece? This way. I actually can't block this with a white cell, because then I would have a problem with dark cells don't connect. So I do have to do this. This also has to be a white cell. But I can do this just fine. I can do this just fine. Actually can't block this. Can I block this? No. So I guess this has to be like so. This has to be like that. This can't be there, so this has to be... Okay, I guess so. That was an interesting little conundrum. Okay, time for the hard puzzles. Let's do it. Underclued grid. No 3 in a row. Can't make that. Can't make that. That's going to come out. Okay, so where do I go from here? This is guaranteed. I don't have to worry about this, but I can't go around this way. This, if I made this piece here, we would have to do this. Then we would have to do that. We'd have to do this and this. So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm just seeing if I can solve the puzzle. Cool. So it's possible to solve here, but if I do this piece dark cell, I would have to make this. Which would mean I'd have to make that, which would mean I'd have to do this. Those would have to be, that would have to be a light cell. I mean, this is not guaranteed at all. I see. That can all be light. Okay, so there is no guarantee over here. This cell can be anything. Can this cell be anything? Well, if this is light, that's dark. If this is dark, that's light. It doesn't really seem to get anywhere from there. How about if we... This cell was fine. If I make this a dark cell, I have to bring this down. I have to make this a light cell. I have to bring this around. If this is a light cell, though, this can't. This would have to be a dark cell. Well, is there any way this is a light cell? If this is a light cell, this is now a dark cell. That's a light cell. That can't be. That has to be a dark cell. That's a dark cell. It makes that a light cell. So far, so good. so that can be a light cell just fine. Can this be a dark cell? Can this be a light cell? Maybe let's look for some things. If I make this, say, a dark cell, and then I make this thing here, sort of what is forced in all solutions, right? So this is always a dark cell. So I guess that's the trick, is that this can't be a light cell. This has to be a dark cell. If this is a light cell, that's fine. This is blowing my mind here. This can be a light cell just fine because we do this. So let's look at the solutions from both sides here. So if we do this one, we have to have this go on. That's having a dark cell. There's a dark cell down here. Put this over here. It seems like there's no way that this is a dark cell. Yeah. So that's a light cell. Also, one of these, but it doesn't seem like this is ever a dark cell. Oops, hold on. No, it does seem like a dark cell can go there just fine. Looking for places. Dark cell here would force that, actually, so that's always a light cell. Dark cell here is fine. Dark cell here is fine. Dark cell here is fine. What else do I want to know? One of these is dark and the other's light, which makes the other one dark and light. So those I know can go either way. These can go either way. I can just do this till I get it. Okay, so that, I see. Okay, I see what they're going for. Weird. I don't really like underclued grids once they get complicated because it does just kind of feel like random guessing. But we have 2 more left in this area, and once we do them, I guess that's... No, we don't. We have 3 more. We have that one too. 4 more, I guess. Once we do them, that'll be all for this particular episode. Dark regions of Area 4, light regions of Area 3. Uh-huh. This is fine. No. So that. That's it. How about you? Area numbers, that's all we know. Okay. No other rules. If this is a dark cell, we would be in trouble. So that's a light cell for sure. That's a light cell. That can't connect there. That has to be there. Nice. Alright, time for the other hard puzzles. Let's see how long these take. Just letters, and all dark areas have the same shape and size. Okay. Okay. Well, B's not going to connect here. B's going to go all the way around. So B has to come through here. The only way it can go. And it has to go through there. That can't be a dark cell. Is there any way B does not connect here? No. It's going to go through here. I could do this. But also do this. I mean, why wouldn't I just do this? To block off the B. If I did this, however, I could do it this way. But I feel like this gives me a bit more leeway with the C, because I can bring this around. No, actually, hold on. If I do it this way... The question is, how do I block C from B? This... This is how you do that. And then D's blocked off. Okay, good. That's what we gotta do. That's a fun one. Okay, here we go. Don't make branching paths as a snake and no 4 in a row. And somehow this is 4 stars. Okay. The question then is we can't go through here. No matter what, it would overload. So we have to go through here. And that has to be like this. So where else can we not go through? We can't go through here. Can't go through there, or there, or there. Now if I do this, I can bring this around just fine. Let's think this one here is probably approaching. How do I approach this? Can't go through here at all. This is how I approach here. Can't go through there. I can't go through here because it'll overload. I can't go through here. I can if I do it this way. We're just making some guesses at the moment. Except then I'm locked, I'm trapped if I do that. Right? Okay. There. 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 That's the pattern. That actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but that's a really, really clever way to do that snake type puzzle. Alright, this was one of the longer episodes than just taking care of all of these random puzzles, but actually kind of one of the most fun ones I've done because I didn't feel like I had any obligations to you, people, to you, my adoring fans. Alright, well I'm going to stop here and go do something else with my life, something possibly productive. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.